The serve is to Tio, who just sticks the right hand up to keep it alive. Out to this left-hand side, and Florczyk crunches one cross court to give Poland the first point.
Great setting from Poznanski. Lots of width on that ball.
Too much on it from Tio, so improvisation at the net. And a chance here cross court for Cook.
It's a great rip from Cook. Very much wrist operates away from the body. He's got two blockers on him. He's got good court vision. Goes the opposite way.
Too much on it. First points for Indonesia. Serve from Adana. That's a good reach. What a reach that is from Crook. Somehow he's arched his back and clawed that one over the net.
Poland just trying to play with real width early on to both pins. It's the first time the 4-on-4 beach volleyball's been into a major international event and being played competitively, to be fair.
He's going to see Rendy into the action early on, as you would expect.
Type of setting that both teams are using as a fast play from Indonesia. When they pass quickly, they can run their offense with great speed, and it makes it difficult for the blockers. That's exactly how they're going to try and play.
Down the middle, and the block is from Adana. 3-all. I have a sneaking suspicion, Lou, we're going to have a lot of very close games today.
Yeah, we've come to the end of the event, and if you were to ask me before this game a winner, I wouldn't be able to tell you, that's for sure. Two very young, athletic, dynamic teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The winner's going to be the team that handles the occasion the better and settles the fastest, you think. That might sound an obvious thing to say, but
I totally agree, and last night you'd say that Indonesia did not settle their way into the game against the USA whatsoever, and they certainly have now. The USA's arrived at the big occasion and played so well at the Algarve last night.
Mischuk peeling round to the left side for the cross-court spike. He gets quite a large chunk of the attempted block.
Poland mixing up their options, but both their left side players being very good on the diagonal, being good off the body spikers.
Oh, that rolls across the top of the net as Florczyk makes the block, and Rendy, hang time from the Indonesian number 2.
Phenomenal athlete, but the difference between the two here is that Indonesia are trying to play so quick. The first and second touch, they're really trying to unsettle Poland here to try and find gaps in between the block.
Serve coming in from Yossi. Poznanski will set again, and Mischuk, this time he gets the block. And good work. Well, good work from Poland to keep that ball alive. They had no right to get it back over, but it was an easy finish in the end. Adana was celebrating. Now he can celebrate. And Indonesia are in front for the first time. Oh, good reach from Poznanski, but it's easy pickings for Adana.
Adana's doing a great job in there. He's double stacking, so he's not only setting, he's also doubling up as a middle blocker. And the last two times he's got across, got 2 in the block, making it difficult for Poland to score.
Big hit. Tio wanting it chased down.
Same as indoor volleyball, trying to use the middle, both teams early on. Some angles through there from Poland.
Florczyk. Too much on that.
strong play through the right side for Poland, and because they're using the middle, it means that there's a higher chance they'll get 1v1 offensively.
Oh, so quick. And this time, coming around the back is Yossi.
The whole philosophy, Charlie, completely right, playing so quick. That back set's right in the pathway, but always making it difficult for the blockers of Poland to get their line and track the spikers.
Poznański in the set. Here comes Crook again.
Drifting block. Manana again. The more that Poland can use the middle, it's just going to hold that Indonesian block.
Here comes Tio for his first attack.
You already get a feel that Indonesia are just spreading out their offense a little bit more. They're combining different types of attacks, but they're also more balanced in the way that they're playing.
Crook. That's a big hit.
It's a very, very Polish swing, that. Super physical, robust, powerful rip to the angle. Can sit on the outside of the block all day long, but probably not digging that one.
Now Rendy, he hasn't had too much to do. Oh, they've kept it alive. And it will be Indonesia at 11-9 at the side switch. Rendy really unleashing his power. We're always getting the little Rendy celebration.
It's character, isn't he? How many times throughout this competition have we seen him turn to the crowd, fire them up? He's got lots of plaudits, especially from the Americans, the likes of Casey Patterson, the McKibbins, just for his general all-round character and fire that he has out here.
Just missed by Crook.
Poland just lacking the consistency of what we've seen from Indonesia so far. They're really in form. Great serving down the line. That means the ball has to go out to the left-hand side. There's no other option.
Yeah, good pass. Poznański with a rare attack. They've leveled it up.
It's always interesting to look at the service tactics as well. Indonesia serving deep to 5 to try and get the left-side spiker out the game.
And Poland serving. So 10-12.
The error count so far is one certainly worth watching here for Poland, because they've already made their fair share in set 1, spiking or serving.
Good blocking. It's Adana again.
Just caught underneath the ball there, the middle, turning with the shoulder towards the left-hand side of court. This makes it a little bit easier to line up for the middle blocker when the body line showing so much of that area. And more errors for Poland.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the error count. Indonesia made 1, Poland made 5.
Massive difference in a 5-point game. It's also the way that they've served Indonesia, the time that they're serving deep to 5, and that's to try and get that left side spiker just out of rhythm, out of sorts, but also make it difficult for Poland to use the right side and the middle. So serving to areas in this game just makes it so much more difficult for the setter to run the offense that they really want to do. And Indonesia look like they're well organised out there at the moment.
There's been some good attacks down the left-hand side for Poland, haven't they? Crook, Mischuk. This is Crook.
It's one of the better ones of the day. Really well opened up and good sharp angle.
What happened there? Rendy just fell over as he walked on the court.
He's in the middle of everything.
Please tell me he didn't trip over the line.
It wouldn't surprise me. that Rendy.
Adana with the serve. And a little roll shot from Crook, well picked up by Rendy. Rendy now unleashes.
Makes him so effective is A, that he's got great leap on him. At the bottom of the jump, his arms are working really hard as well as his legs, but the speed of his arm is so difficult to create timing off in the block.
Good get from Tio, but another chance here for Poland, and they take it.
Tio reading the game back there. Mischuk turning to the line. Tio seeing that, but that's a great square onto the net, but arm works back through.
Rendy just calmly plays it onto the block.
He has this ability to like show one thing with his upper body, and his arm work through a different direction.
Service error. The Indonesian fans living every point.
Big evening for them, that's for sure. To take a bronze medal away from this competition with some huge, huge teams.
Tio gets isolated, or they isolate Crook one-on-one.
It's all Adana in there. Really splits the play nicely. The passes into what 3.5 would be indoors, and that's why the one-on-one, the ball moves quicker than the feet of the blockers.
Oh, what a get! Oh, they all run to the ball.
Coach is smiling, of course, because all four of them just chasing after. I think that, so far, really sums up this performance in the opener from Indonesia. They're very much on the ball. They're very much working together. Pass is good. They're running offenses, making it difficult for Poland.
13-18. There's been a substitution as well for Poland. Karalski has come on for the serve. He did this against Qatar, and then he's immediately subbed back out. Oh, it's just been missed. Florchik goes to open the wrist to put it down the line. And
It's not bad play, that, from Poland. Again, long distances.
it's 13-19. Oh no. 13-20. That's the end of the first set. As quick as you like. Disappointment for Poland. Started okay for them, but they haven't really found their rhythm yet, have they? It's gone in an instant, that first set.
Too many errors. I think the error count that you pulled out earlier on, Charlie, is completely on point. It's an 8-point game with multiple errors from Poland. Too many mistakes offensively, in the serve as well. But on top of that, the question you have to ask is, can Indonesia play that well for the rest of the game? If so, then they thoroughly deserve the bronze medal from this competition as well.
Well, it's 8 errors from Poland, but when you look at it's the attacking. Look at the attacking here. 13 attempts, 12 successes from Indonesia. That is phenomenal conversion rate. 23-11 from Poland.
A lot of that comes down to their pass. Their first contact's been super quick into a good zone, and it's given the setter a really good chance, Adana, to run the game at big speeds, big distances, to open up the spikers, one-on-one, losing the middle blockers. This is just like a mini game of indoor volleyball played on the beach by beach players, so everybody's adapting to it. But so far, Indonesia just firing on all cylinders.
Well, Indonesia certainly got their tails up, and it's going to be a big ask for Poland. Can they find that drive that's got them to this position? They need to dig deep here. Poland haven't gone to 3 sets in this competition. Indonesia, 3 of their 5 games have gone to 3 sets. They look like they're enjoying it, the Indonesians.
Both young sides, so it needs a consistency here and there. Will go one way and then another throughout for Indonesia and for Poland.
There's the Indonesian coach. But here we go then. Stars of the second set. The ball with Mizchuk. So Mizchuk serves into Rendi. And Rendi will try and win the opening point, which he does. There you go, there's the celebration.
The speed of the play again from Indonesia is making it very difficult for the blockers to form and penetrate over the net, and that's why Rendi's finding some joy through the hands.
Good get from Yossi. Adana just gets his bearings a little wrong.
Great touch, this one. On the turn, slow touch of the ball. You even feel at times that Poland are having to work a lot harder to score their points, even when they do play well.
It's Rendi. Take a bow.
He's been one of the players of the competition for me over the past week, Rendi. Hitting through the gap. And again, it's just the speed that they're playing at. Nothing more than that. The speed is up from Indonesia. The first touch is good. And the blockers are having a real tough night out there from Poland.
He's just got that wrong, Crook. There wasn't a lot of height on the set. And he sort of punched it. And he's punched it wide.
He just made a great bit of defense in the last rally as well.
Mizchuk with the big hit into the block. 2-3.
Poland just doing an Indonesia on Indonesia through that stage, playing a bit quicker, a bit wider, going off the hands, and exactly you can see that shot.
Adana just rotated his upper body as well.
Yeah,
that's not going to help.
Absolutely. And you could just see on the picture he's just going back through the routine of his blocking.
That's a great dig by Poznański. Big spike down the middle.
As soon as you give them anything for free, Indonesia, they just speed the game up so quickly.
Rendi had to really stoop to get that serve back. It's a chance here. It's a double touch. That's not your usual setter because Poznański had been on service reception. Very close call.
Super close call from Mizchuk there. See, all setters on the tour side form of the game have to be able to set. Just call for a double contact, which means that one hand is pushing through slightly more than the other. It also could be quite close to a lift, but
Adana's been to the Rendi school of celebrating, isn't he?
Just fired up. Every time they have a comfortable first touch, Charlie, they're just putting so much pressure on Poland with the speed that they're playing at. That's every time you give them something for nothing, they're just punishing you.
Well, they're both going for it. And in the end, it's a bit of a mess for Poland. Free ball for Indonesia. Oh, the set's too tight, though. And in the end, it might be a free ball, but Mizchuk reacts the quickest. And he's turned a losing situation into a point.
tight setting brings the block right into the game. Less angles for Tio to get after that. It's been a threat on the right side all evening as well.
Oh, there you go, another big block.
It's funny how Indonesia have almost had everything their own way so far this evening until the last minute or so, and it'll be interesting to see how they react through the next phase of the game. See whether they
if Poland get a run on, how will Indonesia react?
Yeah, they're playing this free-flowing style of volleyball, and now the errors are creeping in as well with the passing and the setting, and it's just slightly more mental through this stage.
Misjuk trying to draw Indonesia in, and they pop it into the net.
Short serve's been an effective one all week long, really, just drawing one of the spikers in short to try and upset the rhythm of their attack as well.
It's the outside Misjuk. Tio keeps it alive. Another chance for Poland. Misjuk down the line. Tio again keeping it alive. Rendy trying to go with the right hand when probably the left might have been the easier option.
I have absolutely no idea what Rendy was trying to do there. Maybe knuckle?
No, he goes with the heel of the palm, doesn't he? He's gone with the wrong hand, that's for sure, you think.
I have to ask him what he was after.
Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Novak enjoyed that. And his turn to do a little celebratory jig. And Poland are in front.
The man is not even watching there, the setter. He has to be very aware of the play. He's stood in the right position, facing the right way. He must have to watch it over his shoulder.
Indonesia called a timeout because from a position of relative strength at 6-3, they're now trailing 8-7.
What a difference just 3 or 4 minutes makes. A couple of blocks from Poland and some frustration in the crowd.
I think he's trying to G them up. This is when things were going well for Poland at the start of this second set.
See, the middle blockers really rushed from Poland in that first picture.
Great super slow-mo. You see how the blocker crouches all the way down for exploding up. So Poland serving 8-7. This is Novak.
It's interesting. Indonesia is such an emotional side. They're emotionally led, which means when everything's going well for them, it's absolutely brilliant. But it means that that can also shift quite quickly into a negative sense of behaviour as well. Poland are just slightly more consistent in the way that their approach towards the game. That's a great wrist away swing.
Poznański goes into Tio. Adana out this far side. Rendy finds his direction, his target.
Serving to position one Poland or the back right to try and make it difficult to find Rendy, but that was done fairly easily.
(10-9) Poland. That one goes the way of Indonesia. Great setup here down at the beach here. I'll tell you about it actually, the side switch, they're coming up in a second. Poznański, Kruk piles it down, and it is Poland who are 11-10 up at the side switch. Yeah, Qatar Beach, we've got the beach football away to our right hand side. That's behind the end. Poland are currently at. You've got beach tennis and beach wrestling away to our left-hand side. Beach basketball 3-on-3. You've got kite foiling behind the stand on the other side.
Certainly is a dream set up for the first ever one in all World Beach Games. It's going to be a hard act to follow.
Given they've had 3 months to organise it all.
3 months since, unfortunately, San Diego pulled out of running and hosting the games. To put something up of this stature, and it's inspiring.
Indonesia turn it round. Courtesy of the big block.
They've done well again there, Indonesia, getting 2 out. 2 blockers just limit the amount of angles that the spiker will have to spike.
Poznański has to cover a lot of ground. Mischuk off the block, levels it up.
Mischuk stays really high. He knows he's got 2, so it's so much about decision making. It's key.
Here goes Rendy, right into the corner.
Speed and width from Indonesia. And they didn't pass as well last night against the USA as they've passed this evening.
Mischuk. Tries to get a little too cute. And a 2-point lead now for the Indonesians.
Let's give credit to Poland's pass, utilising the middle plate. ANOC will now have to be on his toes as he's operating as that middle blocker stroke setter. To have to release to the pin. He's going to have to hold a little bit longer to be ready for that middle attack. And watch multiple things.
Aldana goes to Rendy. Lifted ball from Poland, according to the first referee. Just has a word with Poznański. Let's have a look.
If the hand's closed, it's not a lift. It's only an open hand if you lift the ball with the palm. So make your own mind up on that one. But Poland
the other thing is, we've seen a replay of that in slow motion, and the officials, they've got to make the call in the blink of an eye.
Especially when the back's turned from the blocker. It's very difficult to make.
So they make the call based on what they feel they've seen. 95% of the time, 98% of the time, it's correct.
For 100%. We have the best officials in the world here. The FIVB have sent the best referees from the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour. The FIVB have been incredible with their support of the tournament.
And we are level. Tio mishandles.
Everything's been going so well for them with the reception to Indonesia. It was just super deep, difficult to try and track back, keep the shoulders behind the ball. But
this is a really good opportunity for Poland. They can apply some pressure. Indonesia haven't really had to deal with too much of it in this contest so far. Rendy just takes the power off, and it's good backtracking by Poznański. Rendy will have another go, and this time the block is there. Oh, do you think Novak enjoyed that one?
Novak absolutely loved it. Indonesia playing quick. It's a great closure, hands dropping inside, but off the ball. Poznański, first time of asking, playing on the left side. Really good off the ball work to get back and defend the sharp angle. They're also changing the rotation, Poland, to put one of their bigger blockers up against Rendy, to just fiddling with that formation on the front 3.
Crook coming back in. Karowski. Ball in the hands of Yossi. Again, Poznański has to make a lot of ground up to make that, saying it was touched, and it does go the way of Poland. They're saying it touched Rendy. Rendy saying he didn't touch him. So they had to get on with it. Decision's been made. Hard to tell. We don't have the challenge system in play here.
Yes, unfortunate that if Rendy feels innocent, but they have a real chance to side out. Poland gaining some real momentum.
Off Adana, and it's 18-16. But I guess the point is, if you feel you've been hard done by, you have to channel that frustration, that sense of injustice into positive force if you can. Dana.
Yeah, totally agree. Or
tries to come back off an Indonesian player.
Or just genuinely trying to stay focused on what task is coming your way next, as opposed to thinking about what's just happened. But they're so up for this, Indonesia. It's going to be difficult for them to manage their mental state of the game here. And Poland have just slipped away with a 3-point lead. And the way they manage their psychological approach is going to be key for Indonesia over the last period, and maybe the third set.
So Indonesia have won 2 of the 3 set matches they've been involved in. They lost to Qatar. They beat Germany and Australia. There's the view over the back stand there. That's the football stadiums over there. Hotels in the background, swinging round, and then there you go, there's tennis, wrestling, and basketball beyond.
Got a bit of everything.
We're in the middle, the heartbeat.
Just beach lover's dream here. If you love beach sports, it's the place to be.
Rendy, big block, wide.
If Indonesia win this, all 3 medalists will come from the same pool. It's interesting looking back through.
Mischuk off the block, and here are 3 set points for Poland.
Tight set, has to go off the hands.
It's killing itself to find the arms or the hands. Rendy saves 1 set point. Poznański back set, kept alive by Adana. And the joust still there. Oh! How have they won that? Poland came 4 touches, or asking at least. That was off the net. That was off the net. The first one was off the net. I don't think it was off a touch. Straight down the middle. Still a set point here for Poland. Big block. Cool heads required in the white vests. Again, Mischuk, and this time they take it. The 3rd time of asking. Poland leveling up 1 set all.
You ask for cool heads in that situation, Charlie, and that's exactly what we saw. Mischuk, instead of trying to hit like the Hollywood angle, the Hollywood shot, he just decides to stay really high and look for the top of the hands. And he gets the rub of the green because of the decision making. He stays high on his arm, high on his control of the ball, and we have some game now.
Poland have turned it around. Can they kick on in this 3rd set? The first time they've gone to 3 sets. Do you feel the momentum lies one over another? Or do you think it's fairly even?
Could not pick. a winner right now, but
Well, that's consistent, because you said you couldn't pick a winner at the start of this one.
no. I think Poland, if you ask me, they're growing into the game, that's for sure, but their level over a period of time isn't changing too much. They're staying quite cool in their head. Indonesia, on the other hand, are a bit up and down at the moment, so it depends which Indonesian team we're going to get at the opening stages of set 3.
So in terms of errors, Indonesia have made only 3 in this contest. Poland 16, large part of those in the first set.
You also feel in that opening set that Indonesia couldn't play much better and Poland couldn't have played much worse at the same time. So there's always something was always going to meet in the middle at some stage, and we're going to have a bigger battle on our hands.
So here we go then. It's a 1-set shootout for the bronze medal at the inaugural ANOC World Beach Games in the beach volleyball 4-on-4. It's going to be Indonesia. Well, Poland certainly think it's Indonesia who's going to get this underway. They want to receive. Poznański's saying that they want to receive. So Indonesia, they're ready to serve. The athlete's body language should probably tell the story.
Certainly so. Poland feel that they have the advantage receiving first and therefore having the first attack.
Yeah, good work. And they do get the first point, but it wasn't a textbook point, was it?
So it's little things that were all going Indonesia's way in set 1. They were getting all of these sorts of scruffy points going their way.
Did they just try and head the ball through the net?
No, I didn't. Nothing surprises me with that young man. That's for sure.
Good block. Oh, toe back. I tell you what, Rendy's got a competitor here.
Novak's super pumped here, but straight away, good serving. He has to go to the line there. His whole body's turned. Good blocking. I feel that it's already quite a long way back here for Indonesia mentally. Might only be 2-0 on the score, but
Tell you what, that's a very quick spike. There's hardly any time between set and spike, is there? I mean, still on the way up as he hits it.
yeah, he's trying to be in the air as the ball's in the setter's hands. Totally works and trying to make it difficult. Generally can't call a winner here. A minute ago it looked as if Indonesia had come out a little bit startled in their approach, a little bit defensive, tentative, but then 2 points later, super quick play through the middle and a kill block to go with it.
And followed by another block.
It's Rendy again.
Rendy and Ardana double teaming.
All eyes here, reading what's going on through the net, not paying much attention to the ball, but although being aware of where the ball is anyway.
His jerk goes long. Off the block. Poland's point.
Ardana, though, the blocker stroke setter for Indonesia, is doing a fine job of getting out and double stacking. That's what we saw in the first set as well. Poland have started to use the middle more as the game's gone on. It's really held Ardana a little bit more. And now they're managing to get 2 up once more.
This is going to be some play from Poznański. That had to go over the net. Side switch comes at 8 in the third set. If you're joining us for the first time in this 4x4 beach volleyball competition at the ANOC World Beach Games.
Certainly would have been worse times to join us as well. What's coming our way?
Poznański comes across to Mischuk. Good block. Ball still with Poland. It's a long way across. The joust at the net somehow has been kept alive. And the kill comes in from Mischuk to level it up.
Ginormous at the net, Mischuk. First of all, Indonesia is serving to position 1 on the right side to try and get Mischuk out of the game, but it doesn't happen for very long.
Florczyk and Novak getting involved on the side. It's gone the way of Indonesia. Poznański having a word.
Novak's just been sent away because he is in the red. But they're sure they won that point.
Yeah, you need that reverse camera angle to see if it does get a touch. 5-4 Indonesia. A little bit, like we said earlier on, if Indonesia felt hard done by, they had to channel that sense of injustice. Now it's Poland's turn to do the same.
Definitely took every little bit of frustration out on that volleyball, didn't it? Indonesia still trying to serve away or stop Poland attacking through that left side, make it difficult for the setter to utilise all of those options.
Kurowski on for Crook. Florczyk is leading the cheers on the sideline. Rendy down the middle, goes up over the top, flying leap from Kurowski. Oh, well played Indonesia.
It's turning into some game. Poland are trying to get Indonesia passing off the net, so they play a slower ball to the outside, gives them a chance to get more blocks, more defenses. But then Indonesia again, in transition, just makes something out of nothing.
Real tactical battle going on out there, and at the moment both sides coming up with the answers. Dies on Mischuk. Novak goes cross court. Novak feels it was touched. The officials do not agree.
Novak's so fired up here, he's going to get booking for it. Has to be so careful. You talk about taking that frustration out on the ball, but the problem is if you do that, you're going to start missing swings as well. His job's going to have to try and be to calm himself down, to be smooth, to be accurate in what he's doing, as opposed to just now he's gone a bit too far.
Yeah, the warning showing to Poland as a whole. They're still very much in this. It's only a 1-point game in this third set.
It's a great game. Another great effort for the sport after the women's bronze medal match. We're treated to a 3-set thriller. We've got the same again there.
Yeah, good work from Yossi. Side switch. 8-6. Indonesia in front.
There, have to give some credit to Tio as well. He tracks that ball back in the pass better to put it back into that zone at 3. But the setter can just run the game at high speeds, and that's where Indonesia are at their best. When they pass perfectly, their game is so tight.
Adana. Poznański goes out to Mischuk. Somehow they've kept it alive here. And down the line goes Rendy. What a point.
Maybe the defense of the game right there. Ayossi sits back as the off-block cover, just sticks an arm out, and because of that, I think the whole game's just turned again.
But it's a 3-point game in favour of Indonesia. Try and catch it. Cute does Crook. Poznański. Crook with the set. He goes back set to Mischuk, who comes cross court. Well done by Crook to keep it alive. Can Indonesia finish? Poznański. Mischuk. Crook now has to come up with an improvisation. It's wide of the mark. Poland keep their hopes alive by somehow hustling the point.
It's funny, this cool, calm Polish side that we saw in set 2, just starting to rev a little bit more. Good thing or a bad thing, we'll find out.
Find out soon enough, won't we? Here comes the serve from Poznanski. There's the block. Yossi. Oh! Wow. And on such fine margins, can bronze medals be won and lost? That could come down anywhere, and it comes down just on the Polish side of the net. I thought it might land on the net, roll along the tape, but it doesn't.
Arms just operating away from Mischuk's body, so it leaves him a little bit open.
Tio, flying defense. Poznanski. Mischuk, Crook goes cross court straight at Rendy. He's going to dust himself down for this massive cross court. Poznanski isolated. And Indonesia now lead by 4.
We'll talk about Rendy here, but Tio made the first bit of defense, but the set from Arlena, he plays the game so quickly that as soon as they make that first touch, the third one's coming before Poland can set up. So not only is that about Rendy Liccardo, it's also about Ardana the setter as well. Tio with the defensive play, very well organised in sets 1 and 3, Indonesia.
So Rendy's getting plenty of congratulations down on the bench, but there's still a long way to go in this. They've got to play at the old cliche, isn't it? Each point at a time. Can't look ahead. Can't think you've got this bronze around your neck.
Definitely. As soon as you become complacent, you leave yourself open to be attacked.
So, Indonesia return to the sand, 4 points to the good, and in the box seat in this final set. First to 15, remember, Rendy serves to Florczyk, who's into proceedings. Florczyk again gets hands to possession. That's some get from Poznanski. Mischuk goes for the first ball. He thought they were coming over on second. He was on the way down as the spike comes in. But there, he's on the way down as Yossi's on the way up.
It's the beauty of the way that they play. They play so fast. It's difficult for the middle blocker to make a decision and read the game. So he commits too early.
Rendy passed the ball round the back of his body before serving. He's in the zone, is the Indonesian number 2. Mischuk, there is Rendy. Rendy coming again, and he's gone with the left arm as such.
The left hand has really opened up that seam of court. If he went with the right, he has to play straight away into the block and down. But going with the southpaw, hits through the seam. There's no way he could get the ball through that avenue with his right hand.
Off the block and wide. Off a done. I don't think that's blocked. I think that's come off the net. I don't think this gets above. This hits the net call for me. I don't think that's off the block.
It's another one, isn't it? Close decision.
I think Indonesia might have had a few close decisions, so what goes around comes around.
It's also now how they react again. And that reaction is one that's a bit tentative. The set from Arlena is too tight. So Rendy's always going to get blocked out. They're not the biggest team, Indonesia. They have to play slightly off the net to be able to pick the balls at different points.
Florczyk. Good lead by Rendy. And here are 5 bronze medal points.
Super evident to see Florczyk just gutted with missing that serve. Let Indonesia off the hook and looks pretty certain to see where the bronze medal is heading.
Tio serves to Mizchuk. Mizchuk has to find the kill, and he does. Saves the first match point. But here come, well, the next 3 if required will all be on Poland's serve. Tio coming forward. Rendy, can he wrap it up? No. Sets too close to the net. Poznański. Florczyk. Down the middle he goes.
Completely right, Charlie. Too many sets flirting with the net. Heaps so much pressure on the spikers. Poland are digging their heels in.
3rd match point. Tio again, the serve recipient. And there is the winner from Yossi. And Poland go home with nothing. That's so disappointing for them. But the other side of the coin is the joy for Indonesia, who finished bottom of Pool A, but walk away with the bronze medal in the inaugural ANOC World Beach Games.
They've had an incredible competition, coming 4th in their pool, but they've come past the likes of Australia to be here. They just missed out against the USA yesterday, but they're organised, they're young, they're athletic, dynamic, and they're a lot of fun to watch as well.
Final score here. Indonesia take the bronze medal 2 sets to 1. 21-13, 19-21, 15-11.